What's going on, Sports Wars? This is Ryan with RK Outpost and GeeksGamers.com, and Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, is getting absolutely slammed with criticism over his decision to move the All-Star Game out of Atlanta, Georgia, and to Denver, Colorado. We all know the story behind this. We know that they decided to bend the knee to the liberal politicians and the mainstream media who were pressuring them to do this, all over these lies over the new Georgia voting regulations. But now we have someone who is speaking out against Rob Manfred, whose voice really matters. It is former Major League Baseball Commissioner Fay Vincent. Now, most commissioners, when they get done, they really don't talk about the policies of the future commissioners. They really don't sit there and criticize too much. Most of the time, they just sit back and relax and enjoy the rest of their lives. So for Fay Vincent to pen this article, to write this, to come out and slam Rob Manfred publicly this way, this really means something, and you should take it to heart. Take a look at this. Former MLB commissioner disagrees with Manfred's decision to move All-Star Game. By now I'm sure you've heard about Major League Baseball's decision to move the All-Star Game out of Atlanta. That controversial decision came after mounting pressure to punish the state of Georgia following the passing of new voting laws. Let's just say it hasn't gone over well. There has been severe backlash over the decision, especially since the other logical measures haven't followed. For example, the Atlanta Braves will still play all 81 of their home games in the state, and they haven't even made an attempt to find a change of venue. Why? Well, it's because Commissioner Rob Manfred isn't getting pressured by activists to move the Braves' home games. And that is exactly what former MLB Commissioner Fay Vincent is pointing out in his article. Take a look at this. He wrote for the Wall Street Journal an opinion piece, Rob Manfred's All-Star Error. The commissioner politicized baseball over a law he likely hadn't examined. This is, I don't know if I can really explain how crazy this is, that you have a former Major League Baseball commissioner in Fay Vincent writing an article for the Wall Street Journal explaining why he thinks that Rob Manfred is fucked up, why he made the wrong decision. And one of the really important quotes is right here. In a recent article for the Wall Street Journal, Vincent laid out his concerns with the tactic. Major League Baseball can't become a weapon in the culture wars, a hostage for one political party or ideology. It can't be only for the rich or the poor, nor can it be for one race as it was until 1947. Baseball must always stand above politics and its dark elements of corruption, greed, and sordid selfishness. It can't go wrong by standing for national greatness. The talk shows and editorial pages are full of questions, Vincent pointed out. What is the basis for acting so forcefully against Georgia? If Georgia is racist, how can baseball talk of doing business with China? Mr. Manfred's failed to spell out specific criticisms of Georgia's voting law. Now he's put himself in the awkward position of having to defend Colorado's voting laws. And one quote that I also found that wasn't in the Outkick article, I think is right here. But consider what he didn't do, right? Moving directly to an economic sanction suggests that Mr. Manfred believed that Georgia law required drastic intervention. But consider what he didn't do. He didn't number the limit of home games the Braves will play. He'd need the approval of the Players Union to do that, and Braves owner John Malone would surely resist. To move the site of the All-Star Game is one thing. To ignore union and ownership powers is another. The Midsummer All-Star Game is an exhibition that benefits only the city where it's played. It was reported Tuesday that Denver will be the new host. The players will get paid no matter where the game takes place. The MLB will get the same television revenue. The only people hurt by Mr. Manfred's decisions will be Atlanta's stadium workers and local vendors. This is a piece putting Rob Manfred on blast from a former commissioner in Fay Vincent, and he makes perfect points. Everything he says makes sense because it's everything that all normal people have been looking at and saying. How can you sit there and say that this law is so racist, it oppresses black people so much that we have to move it out of the state of Georgia and move it to a city and a state where the voting regulations are effectively the same? Because it was never about that. It is about a political narrative, and just like former commissioner said, the MLB is now being used as a weapon in this culture war, and that is not what sports should be about. Unfortunately, when you have losers like Rob Manfred, when you have cucks like Adam Silver over at the NBA, when you have these weak people in charge of these sports, they become a weapon for virtue signaling and identity politics. And when they go woke, they will go broke. We've seen it in the NBA. We will definitely see it in Major League Baseball as well. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about the former Major League Baseball commissioner slamming Rob Manfred's decision to move the All-Star game? Let me know in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.